just yesterday, I was in the grocery store and I ran into my youngest son, Grant, his middle school basketball coach. So we're in the grocery store. He kind of looked at me like, I know you from somewhere. Then you know how you finally make the connection. So we make the connection, and he was asking how Grant was, and he was just sharing and kind of going about Grant and so forth. And then he goes, "How's your wife?" So you know how awkward that could be, but it was not awkward. So I shared, my wife passed in February. And then so he's like, "I needed to see you today." And he said, "My wife has stage 4 cancer. She's in Johns Hopkins." And he's telling me this story. And he was just like, "There's people around me, but now I'm talking to somebody that's been through this." And then I went and shared, her journey. He didn't know she had cancer. Obviously, he didn't know. And so I shared, she had cancer, and I shared a little bit about the journey. And like I said, I've known this guy from coaching Grant about 2 years while he was in middle school. And then I would see him around maybe once a year. We never really connected. And he said, "Can I have your phone number?" We shared phone numbers there. He said, "Do you mind if I call you?" And then, you talk about how the Lord works. My phone rings. I look and it's Grant, just out of the blue. I said, "Grant, somebody wants to talk to you." So I put him on the phone and they just chat a little while. And then, we're talking. He says to me, "You know what?" And he says, "I believe in miracles." He said, "I know for a fact that God is going to heal my wife, either on this side of heaven or this side of heaven." This is him sharing with me that testimony. But he said, "But this journey is hard and it's tough." And he's a big muscular guy, remind me kind of Garen, right there. And and he said, "Man, my brother-in-law called me the other day and I just started blubbering like a baby," or whatever. But he's like, "Man, it is so good to just connect with you." And then as we leaving, we exchanged numbers. And I said to him, I said, "Do you mind if I share this with Grant?" Because he's a prayer warrior. He said, "Absolutely. And you can share it with whoever you want to share." We're sharing with a lot of different people because we just want people to be in prayer and support us. But here's the thing. He believes in miracles. We look at the miracle that we want God to do for us right now and here and how we want it done. But it blessed me so much when he said, "I know God is going to heal my wife either on this side of heaven or that side of heaven." So remember, I said that ninth miracle. Jesus raised himself from the grave, from the dead. But guess what he promised? To raise us too.